everyone, and welcome. Welcome in. So this is episode 3 of Smoke Talk, and I am your host, Paige. We are, I think, all pretty excited here because we all know what tonight is going to bring. First, we're going to have SystemRecoded, who is revered, I think, personally, as an art god. Master of this, just innovative homebrewer of just like the imagination and just putting it out there. We are going to explore the visions and inspirations that fuel their remarkable creations. I am so excited. I'm all the way in this. After a brief intermission, we're going to meet Sphgtti, aka Kit, variety streamer from Toronto's Treaty 3 territory. We're going to talk about like the perspective that she brings being an indigenous streamer. We're going to talk about the stories that are sold like from her to the world just by existing. It's incredible. Also, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. So get ready for an insightful event. This is going to be so much fun. It's going to be an amazing evening with artistry and identity covered. This is Smoke Talk. I mean, you know what you were getting into. Thank you for the follow. Let's go ahead and have our intro, and then we'll be right back. Here we are, and here, bonus, is System. Say hello, System.
Hello, everybody. I am SystemRecoded. It's wonderful to meet you all today.
I am so excited that you're here. I'm really just, I can't explain it. It's so cool to be able to ask you questions and to just sort of talk to you on this level. But let's go ahead and start with you giving a full intro of yourself, what you do, etc., etc. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. But I just want to say I'm also very grateful and humble to be here. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Hello, everybody. I am SystemRecoded. I am a small fantasy and character artist from the Caribbean. I love TTRPGs, and I would love to do more creation and innovation in the space of it. I love characters, and I would love at some point to hear about yours. That's really all it comes down to when it comes to my art.
That's super fun, honestly. And just your level of skill is absolutely insane. Now, we did promise a pretty big surprise type of situation here. But before we do that, I do want to ask you a couple of questions, System.
I'm all ears. Actually, I'm all hands. But
evidently, all hands. Now, can you start by telling us a little bit about your journey as an artist, like what initially drew you into the world of art?
It's actually very funny and a little embarrassing, but it's actually Seto Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Really?
I've always been fascinated by dragons and mythological creatures, and he was just so cool. And Blue Eyes White Dragon is just iconic. And I just started drawing dragons. My dragons were horrible. Then I drew people with phoenix features because I couldn't draw feet. And then, through that, not being allowed to draw in class and getting in trouble for it, I have developed myself to this point. Lots of people have influenced me, and I am not anything but the sum of many genuine good people in my life.
Amazing. And honestly, we can't hate on Yu-Gi-Oh! A couple episodes, I mean, just speaking of just in general, in that sort of vein, a couple of episodes, we actually had the world champion of Digimon, the card game. So no hate on that. No shame. That's amazing. It's such a cool, like, just way to get into everything. That's genuinely impressive. I'm about it. Now, how do you describe your style of artwork? Like, what are some of the key influences that have shaped your approach?
I like to have a few things that are personal to me, personal to the people I work with, and then worldly. I like to have some level of, I won't say it's dignity, but it is, you're coming to me for my style and my interpretations, and I would love for that to be a part of the vision. So I try my best to use all that I was brought up with, which is being very quick, being very efficient, and trying to be as not spontaneous, but as exuberant as I can in giving that sort of energy to the characters you want or the art that you want. When it comes to the people I work with, which is the second factor, I love to hear about the story. I love to hear about your ideas. I know some of us, we have like these little AMVs in our head when we have like a song stuck on a character in our mind. We have endless daydreams about the people who we've imagined, who we live lives with, really. And I want to bring that to the character art that you have. And from the world itself, well, if you have cultures, if you have parts of your heritage, parts of who you are that you want to become a part of it, I do want to know more about that subsection of your culture, that subsection of you, and be respectful to it when I interpret it in the art. Because if in any way I'm disrespectful, then I'm not doing your art a service. And this is your vision that I'm helping you make.
Hmm. I feel it. I feel it. I always appreciate an artist who cares more about just the base references, like, well, what do they look like and what are they wearing? I love it when an artist is like, well, who are they? And for that matter, who are you? Because it's not just about the character that the person has created and what they've created them to do. It's about what part of them went into it, honestly. In
It's
my
a
opinion, that's my thought.
No, you're correct. It's a connection. When I get to draw people's characters, I get to know more about them. This is a your friend that you're, handing over to me for a bit, and I'm getting to see them.
This is so exciting. And honestly, chat, uh, speaking of that surprise, I actually I did this exactly with System. I told System about how I, as an Indigenous creator, I really connect with my culture. Uh, I gave them a bunch of references. I talked about just sort of what I loved about my culture and why I loved it. And well, let's see for ourselves what happened. Hmm?
Ooh.
I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, 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 dance.
Surprise! I got one too. I know, I know, I know. Let's have a moment. Let's have like a huge moment here to just sort of be about this. I'm so excited about what just happened. So this is System's rendition using references and using cultural discussions of my me, and based on the gods that I most connect to within my own culture, which is Jurakan and Atabe. So voila, gotta love fresh System art. That is absolutely correct. Thank you, System.
Must
This is amazing. This is just fantastic.
I must say, welcome to the 2D space. I'm glad to have you. You look wonderful. You look fabulous, darling.
Thank you,
Uh,
thank you, thank you. I love it. I love it.
it was
Gotta
so
love
much
it.
fun to work on this piece because I actually got to find out a little bit more about my own culture because Atabe is a part of our culture down here a little bit, just ever so slightly, a small little bit of it. So it was just fun to find a little connection.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's Atabe is like it's well, she's pretty common, I think, with most Taino. Like the Taino is a huge tribe; it covers several islands, and you happen to live on one of the islands that it covers. Tell us a little bit about that, actually.
I would love to go into it, but unfortunately, there's not much of it to know. We The populace of it, sadly, was dealt a heavy blow by colonizers,
Mm,
and right now a very small set of them exist in the islands, and we respect them, we love them, we enjoy whenever they have the chance to bless us with their culture and show us what it's like. Because even down here, we ain't appropriating nothing. We got to give respect to those. They're very strong
that I
people and they're very
understand.
beautiful people. Just got to say that.
We have to give a lot of respect to situations and people and just things that have happened. I know that a lot of cultures are at this point, they're not gone, but they definitely are in need of rediscovery and reconstruction, and that is so important. And I'm glad that you see that. That makes me respect you all the more, to be perfectly honest. Now you live in Trinidad, but you are not Trini yourself. Um,
Well, I am Trini, but I'm also Desi of heritage, yes?
yes. Also, hello everybody who just jumped into chat. Welcome, welcome. Um,
Hello.
so System, tell us a little bit about like being Desi and living in Trinidad and like how those cultural backgrounds kind of converge in on your creative process.
Well, a little brief history of Trinidad is that we are a very polycultural society. We have a lot of influences from African, Indian, Creole, French, Portuguese, Spanish. The list goes on, and the food is great. I just gotta say that. And being Desi here is its own fun little mini adventure in the country because we get to experience the gods of Hinduism, we get to enjoy the cultures, 3 day weddings, the food, the spread, eating on palm leaves. It's so much fun. But for me, the best part about it was learning about the deities and learning about the mythology because the Hindu faith from where I take a lot of inspiration for my art and my person because, well, I'm Indian, it's shown me that it's just such an immense, epic human story because although they're gods, they're not without their faults. They suffer, they lose, they win, they fight. And one of my favorite little tidbits, the story is still going on. That's right, the lore always develops.
Ah, I love that. You know what though? I think we should get a little more comfortable. Do you want to take a seat with me?
Yeah, no, I've been standing so long.
Okay, time to sit. Do that. There we go. I think that's a lot more comfortable. What do you think?
Ah, yes, I get a man spread finally.
Ah, we love it. We love it. Let's move the chat box actually right here. Have a nice conversation in the background. Ah, okay. Now that we are comfortable, let's actually get into some of your art because I know that I've been talking System up, and for those of you who are here to and already know the art that System brings, I know that you are all fans. Like, let us know in the chat how big of a fan you are because I guarantee I'm a bigger one. But for those of you who have not had the absolutely wonderful opportunity to see Systems art, we're going to go ahead and have a look at our first one. This is, oh my God. Let's talk about this, shall we? It's
Well,
this is Midnight Anansi, this
yep,
Spider-Man
Anansi.
Trinidad. Tell us about this. Tell us everything.
Well, obviously it's from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's influenced by that because it's such a huge, respectfully amazing artistic adventure. It's so respectful to its sources and all of that, but also it allowed so many creators around the world to touch in with something and to be able to live in the life of one of the most popular superheroes of all time, and I got my part in because I rarely do fan art, but it was just so perfect because in the Caribbean we have a story that we've adopted from our African brethren about Anansi, a little bit of a trickster god. He's a spider, and I just thought, well, in our culture we have carnival and a midnight robber, which is this man who comes around and he beats you with a stick until you pay him off.
Oh my
and
god.
Nancy is Trickster God. So I decided to mix them together and to make a little Caribbean Spider-Man. So there's
Wow.
small little tidbits there, like in his backgrounds, just like Obi, he has news articles based around what he fights against, which is like too much order, too much control, too much oppression, that kind of stuff. Spider-Man Trinidad in 1962. 1962 is when we gained our independence. And Trinidad is not a real place, it's a local slogan because Trinis will never take anything seriously and we will turn everything into a party. We were going through a hurricane once, an earthquake, COVID, and they were parties set around that. Trinidad is not a real place.
This sounds like Florida outside of Florida. I know that sounds so American to say, but it's just really funny to me. It's like
No, it really is. We're a bunch of zany, unique people, and I'm very happy that. And this was a little love letter to my own culture for a little bit because I am a little nihilistic about where I live. So for me, this was a moment to push away the negativity and just take in what I love about my country and just put it out there. I love it. It was, God, I still look at this piece every now and again. I'm still impressed. I still think I could do better next time, but what artist doesn't?
I mean, Isaac Wilson in the chat says sounds like a party that got started and hasn't left. I concur.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, absolutely concur. This is fan freaking tastic. Oh my god. So these colors that you chose, I am kind of obsessed. Like I suppose I wouldn't have thought to put black and red over like a purple to pink gradient. And it works so uniquely. I love it. I love it so much.
As much as
But
I would love to take credit for that, I have to say those are the people at Sony who decided that that was just such a baller ass design choice. Because I took one of the backgrounds, by one of the still shots from the movie, and I decided to repaint it over. So it taught me a lot, and I'm very glad it works.
I love it. I love it. I love the use of color. And I mean, speaking of color, let's have a look at this glorious thing right here. I need to know more. Tell me more.
So, and this is actually very fun because this is a very recent piece, not even a month old. One day I just caught a VAPS, I caught an idea, and I was just thinking to myself, I need to improve right now. My art is stagnating. One of my mottos is to never stagnate, to always keep improving, to always find something better, to do better. So I just decided, what's something that I'm not good at? Very vibrant colors, very expressive stuff like that, and dealing with more background stuff, letting the whole piece, not just a character on a white background, tell a story. So this is a style called hyperpop, which uses a lot of high saturation colors that you really wouldn't expect together to give this incredibly thrilling, burning your eye, but in a good way, sort of masochism piece of art. And this character here, funny enough, is another anime reference because me and my friend decided to make Jujutsu Kaisen OCs, and I got carried away. And he's based on Trinidadian folklore culture because those little guys on his shoulders are called duendes. Duendes in our culture, they come from French Creole mythology. They find unbaptized kids, they lure them into the forest, and they get lost there. So I gave them mouths to whisper and eyes to see. And I just got carried away with the colors because at this point I really thought, yeah, this is a piece you could just go all out. Don't stop until you get tired.
Wow, that is wildly insane. I mean, I love that this is just sort of a reach back to your culture. I'm just the and also like okay, I just started Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm gonna learn all this, and I feel like I'm gonna appreciate it the more I go along. Um, I am I'm so I just this is okay. I'm gonna say it. My favorite part, and strange as it's gonna be, is the color of the teeth. I don't know why I love the teeth being pink. But I love this like it's almost like somebody standing in so much color that just nothing can avoid it. And for things that are typically supposed to be like a lighter color, like I like the whites of your eyes and your teeth and your nails, for those to all, like, none of them be that same white is like, I don't know, it's just peak to me. I can't explain it. I can't.
I have to agree. When I did the mouth, that like that blue underlight, the yellow lip lights, and this like magenta, which isn't a real color. You can't find it in nature. I watched a color out of space movie about that, and it just felt like it was just so perfect. I would never have thought of it up until that moment, and
Yeah.
then it's perfect. It's one of my favorite pieces I've ever done.
Honestly, this is the sort of thing that I want, like, in full poster form, in a room that I just want black lights in. I just want this as a black light poster. That's frankly what I want. I
Ah, that'd
swear.
be awesome.
It would be so, so cool. I
God,
mean,
that'd be so trippy, dude.
where can we get your art is the real question.
Unfortunately, I don't have prints. All I have is just digital pieces right now,
But
and you
when
can
people
find
buy the
them.
digital pieces, are they able to, like, do you give them the rights to go and get them printed for themselves?
Unfortunately, I have never come across a situation where I needed to have that conversation.
Mm.
To me, I've always considered it that a lot of the clients I work with do more personal stuff. I've never seen. I have only a few clients who work with me that do more like for sales and stuff like that, and that's a different contract altogether. But for people
Mm.
who are just doing their own like personal OCs and stuff, I feel like I'd give them the freedom to just sort of have some fun with that. I do watermark my stuff, and I have my files. I'm hopeful, and I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt that they're not going to mess me over.
Yeah, I understand that completely. I do know that if you did offer prints, I'd be first in line, and anybody else who stood in line, aside from Slumbering Witch, obviously,
Yeah.
would receive violence in return. Thank you. Yeah. Now, let's talk about this. Tell me, tell me the story, because this for the chat to know. I um I sort of demanded that we talk about this beforehand. I really did. This is one of my favorite pieces by System, personally, because just the colors and the dynamic of it, the angle, the just perspective, just God, tell me, please, everything.
So this is Syndigo Bukrashas, a Desi vampire from a VTM game that we were in, and there's no there's no like amazing story about this, but she was a character I played because I wasn't able to be there all the time, so I needed a character who was able to exist on her own, separate from the narrative, while also being a part of the story. I talked to the GM out of the game to be able to get, some little story points coming across, and we all felt it. Yeah, I was that important. Actually, I'm pretty sure you had him last week. The Artie, he is amazing,
Mm.
and she was just a character I wanted to just play as somebody I never did before. I never did somebody who was just so in their own space. This is their world. They're selfish. They think about themselves first and only. They do not care to think about the ramifications of their actions because they trust their own beliefs enough to think that if I was willing to think of this thing first, I must be willing to act on it because I trust my own gut.
Yeah,
She
no, definitely.
she had no holds barred. She would do what she wanted. She was a little bit of a little vile. She, as you can see, she may potentially be stabbing that man who's filled currently with green earbuds. I don't know what that is. Like
he
those,
he's
like nerds, like the nerds candy, but like melted. That's what I'm gonna think it is.
he's trying so hard to get away, and I just get the feeling that that did not. Uh,
It didn't. And this piece here was just my little love letter to the character itself because although I wasn't able to be there all the time, and I'm gonna be honest, I was very lost with the narrative very often at the times.
mhm.
Getting to play her the way that she played made me enjoy the system, made me enjoy the people, made me enjoy the story, because she just felt like she was her own current in a massive ocean. She was doing her own thing, unshifted by others. but still affecting them in a fun way. And I got to explore a lot of more like Desi points because she is very much into her own mythology. She's based on Kalima and Shiva, gods of destruction. She is
Wow.
based on a lot of that sort of um, colorism issues in her own country. And of
Mm.
course, being a woman in 1800s, being a colored person, that kind of stuff, I will try to develop it into her story and try to explore it because although that's not something that I could do myself, it was nice to just take a dip in and try to see things from that sort of perspective and see how somebody with who drive, ambition, intellect, and zane, how she would try to explore that because she may not be an icon to many, but she's an icon to me.
You know, I think she's an icon to far more than you, honestly. Just the way that you've portrayed her, you can just feel this power and this, I don't know, I'm getting like anger, but almost like it's somewhere else. Like,
It's a sadistic satisfaction.
yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it a lot. Now, as much as I have a high key crush on this character, let's go ahead and talk about this. Can we talk about this?
Ah, yes, Seraphiel. Seraphiel is not my character, nor was this a commission. This was a love letter to one of my friends because he's just such a cool dude. He's just, he's like in Fallout, he's your mysterious stranger. You hear a guitar strum, he's there. He is just so cool. He loves rats, he loves JoJo's, he's got wonderful political views. And every time I talk to him, I always just feel like I come out of the conversation better and I come out of it more worldly no, in a sense, you know?
Mm-hmm. No,
He's
I
got
do know that. I do get that.
he's got this very frank way of speaking where it's very direct, but in a respectful way. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mince his words, and nor does he try to like put any softness in when he needs to get a point across. He's very honest, and I appreciate that in people. And one day I just thought of apps and I just thought to myself, I need to just get something interesting out there. I need to explore, have some fun. Because if you look at it really long and hard, you'll notice that it's very much scribbles. The hands barely drawn properly, the other ones just some mismatched shapes. The color is really what's carrying it. And this color, I just thought to myself, how much can I push with it? How much fun can I have it? How can I respect JoJo as a medium while also borrowing and showing that it's my own interpretation of it? Because this is his character dressed in the outfit of one of what's his name? I'm sure one of my friends in the chat will remind me because I'm feeling like such a fake JoJo fan right now. It's like I totally haven't watched any of it, by the way.
Yeah, I
But
have not watched it either. I've seen bits and pieces. You know,
I
earlier, Jessa Rose Games said System's ability to emulate styles is so good, and I have to agree because I've only ever seen the art of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and a couple of memed clips, but I mean, I can see the similarity not just in the colors and the posing, but just in the way that this character is drawn. I mean, it's fabulous. It's overstated. It's the muscles. You know, so many
It
muscles.
really is. I honestly say just from this piece, learning from Araki a little bit was just so much fun. And there,
Mm.
it's. I wouldn't say it's a love letter to a friend because that's sort of gay. But dude, this was such a good, fun piece, and I'm very glad I was able to do it for a friend.
You know what? If art is a love letter, then I think most of us can double down on just wanting to be loved as a standard, because just
Mhm.
to have somebody like just see you and then just create you in such an incredible fashion, to me, is like, I think that's one of the most amazing things that you can do for a person. Now, with that said, let's talk about this one a little bit. This vibrant, the green, just tell me the story of this one.
Yeah, this is a little bit more of a tragic piece for me, but this character belongs to one of my friends, Hugo. Hugo is this very humble, very sweet, Swedish bartender that I knew from a while back through a friend. He was this really dedicated home brewer to his TTRPG games, and he very much wanted his players to have fun. And we disconnected a while back through childish things. I'm gonna be very honest. Things that you wouldn't even remember later down the line kind of things. And when he contacted me, he was in a very rough position in life and he was just reaching out to people. And it was very nice to get to talk to him again just to see where he was because he was struggling with depression and his ages. And he had made an attempt. So he was in a hospital while he was talking to me and he had sent across this character and we had talked about it. We had talked about how he was doing and I took a bit longer with this commission piece because it was a little bit of an excuse to keep talking to him a bit because I'm very bad at keeping in contact with people even when I try. So when I finished it, it was a character based on a race that he had made called a silver blood, which are these like these hollow people who are made to be like vessels to these very cool little functional mechanical ideas. And he had made this cool guy with wonderful prosthetics and jade imagery, the sort of mixture between as like European and Eastern design tropes, and I had enjoyed it.
Hmm.
And when I'd given it to him, he had enjoyed it too. We kept talking for a few weeks, and then he stopped responding. I stopped responding. I probably stopped responding first, and I haven't heard from him since. And I would like to believe that he's doing well and he's enjoying himself and playing games and bartending because one day I do want to see that we will visit him and get some of his drinks because he showed us some remarkable cocktails. Like they looked delicious. They looked so flamboyant. There was one that he could that like sparkled. I don't know how he did it. It was just he was a master at his craft. He was very fun. And this was a very fun piece.
I think I think chat can agree as well. I think it's one thing to create something for somebody that you currently adore, and it's another thing to create something that you adore for someone that you no longer speak to. And it's like, looking back on for anybody who was available and watching for last week's episode, Artie back then, Arthur Wells said it very very well. You create memories when you create memories. It's like it sets off the same neurons when you create memories as a character as it does when you remember your own memories. And I can't help but wonder if it's sort of the same with art. Like if for a moment it's sort of like jumping across time when you look at a piece that you created for somebody you no longer talk to. For that moment, that person is exactly as they were right in front of you, and it's like you're there again, you know? Kind of like how Wubs did with his games or with their games. My bad.
Oh yeah.
It's like how is that kind of what it feels like? You look at the piece and it's just that person again.
It is. It's that moment in time, but also it's more than just that. It's how you felt at that point. Because I felt very hopeful. I felt very happy. So I'd like to say that although this piece reminds me of point,
Mm.
it does also remind me of how I hope things turned out and how I'm sure things have turned out for him.
Mm. I think I think things will be fine. I think
It's a
things
very
will be
hopeful piece to
wonderful.
me.
This piece does in fact rule. Kintara the said it, I think, well. Now I love something that has story to it. So tell me the story behind this one here.
Ah, my boy Argyle. Argyle is an adopted character. He was given to me by a DM I used to have for Leon.
Make this a
And
little bigger for chat.
Leon found such a wonderful group of friends for me. And when I was given the campaign, because we went through a few difficulties that led to Leon leaving us and a few players having to be kicked, I was left with a story that wasn't finished, with characters who were not complete, and people who were not satisfied. And I was just, all of this responsibility I didn't need to take onto my shoulders. And my friends have told me that, but I chose to put in a lot of effort to wrap up this thing because it, frankly, to me, was just this soap opera of ups and downs, both in game and out of game, with the people I met and the people I've lost. Argyle here is one of the smallest characters in the story. He is the arch rival, secondary arch rival to one of the main players, but he has no like huge narrative strides in the story, at least up until that point. So I was really given so much freedom to do whatever I wanted because he had no impact yet. In fact, so much so that I entirely changed the design and only kept the name and idea because he was initially supposed to be an underdog halfling, and I decided, nope, you're going to be a Triton and a samurai because the player you're rivaling is a Triton and a samurai. And he had this wonderful dual story with Namazu, who is the player's character,
Mm-hmm.
of the story of how like a cop or a koi will swim up a waterfall and turn into a dragon. He was the cop that didn't make it all the way up. He failed and he's struggling and he's trying because in his story, in Namazu's story, he is the villain who decimated his clan and sent him on this path of like self-destruction. And
Mm-hmm.
then you come back around because I put in a lot of work to make him more sympathetic, to give him a reason for why he did those malicious and nefarious things. I tried my best to find middle grounds as a DM with my players because a character is interesting. A character is fun. You can make the most uniquely, perfectly thought out character ever. If they don't resonate with your players, it's a waste of time and you're wasting it.
No, I
So
get
I talked to Namazu, I talked to Rob, I talked to him. I learned about his character, I learned about the story that he was influenced by for his character. I looked at a bunch of cartoons and TV shows and took reference and movies, lots of samurai movies, and I just crafted this homage to my player. I crafted this person who completed his story, completed the NPC story, his own Argyle story, while also growing the larger plot, helping the character out, and helping the person to get that story, get to be cool, get to be awesome, get to feel like the main protagonist in this saga. Get to give them that satisfaction they get to completing their arc. And he was that for me. He was the first one I got to do. I got to do another one for my player who's synthetic pacifist in the chat there. And
it.
it felt so nice to just give these two people, because they've been with me from the start of this campaign, to just give them this chance. Well, Rob wasn't. Ren was there, but I'm going to do him soon. There's going to be another big piece coming up for him because he's a very important. And those three friends who I have, and this game, the art I've made for it, because I made so much art for that game, all are just such good memories for me. Because I could just daydream about that campaign whenever I want because of those people and the story that I was gifted and got to make with them.
I think that quite a few of us can relate to this because I feel like a lot of us have those of us who play TTRPGs or any sort of role playing game in general. It's you live this incredible adventure. You see these things in your head, and you can just go back and just maladaptive daydream them a little bit. And I mean, this I think is such an incredible gift Because it's one thing to give somebody a visual. You know, it's one thing to write a love letter to somebody in the form of art, to paint every single stroke of what you love about a person. But it is another thing entirely to capture a moment, to capture your view of somebody's character in a story that they were not just committed to, but invested in so much. Like, this feels real. This feels like I want to know the story. This feels like I'm seeing so much. I mean, the skill alone of the driving snow, and I think it's snow, and the fact that like there are so many like arrows sticking out of this poor guy, and I mean what it says. I'd like to say we are similar, two sides to the same coin, but that would be disrespectful to the legacy you have made for yourself. We are enemies. That hits. Oh my God, does that hit? I'm I'm just so impressed. Now, what game did you say this was? Was this D&D?
This is D&D. It's not even Rhyme of the Frostmaiden anymore because we've homebrewed it so much to make it our story.
Mm-hmm.
And this piece was just because it started off with just me not trying to use any line with just some colors, and then I kept going and I kept thinking and I kept enjoying the thought process of making this character, making this moment because this was I had promised my players up until that point that I was going to give them their moment, you know. This
Mm-hmm.
is because this campaign's going on for 3, 4 years now, and we all need closure. So I've been trying to give them that with the rivals that was set up by Leon a while ago. And this piece here made me feel like I really was thinking about Namazu's player and the NPC Argyle right here. And I was
Mm-hmm.
just thinking of their relationship because they're brothers, both symbolically and really like in the story they actually are like half siblings. How they've traveled similar paths, how they've ended up in the same place, how they're on opposing sides of this faction war with the people of Bryn Shander and Auril herself, how he's not really evil, he's just doing it because he needs power. You're just trying to find out why is he doing this if he knows he's doing something wrong, and then you find out that he's doing it for his sister. You find out that he's doing it for these reasons, that he was tricked, that he was a pawn, he was a child who had to do what he had to do to save somebody he trusted, that he loved, that his sister, and how all of that he's living the ramifications of his actions, and he is still pushing through it to save his sister. And he finds solace, he finds peace, he finds brotherhood with Namazu, with the player. And I get to connect as a DM to a player, as a friend to my friend through our characters here and just say, like, yeah, dude, your character's sick. This character respects that, and I'm going to give you this badass story moment. Because how cool is it that your rival and you both hold swords, Dante and Virgil style, and kill the thing that actually killed your whole village? Oh,
I
it
mean,
was
giving
so good.
something an ending. I mean, just to get that invested and to not be able to finish it, for you to have enough care, I think, in your mind to give somebody the closure that I think we all need when we get started on a story, we get started on anything that we get fully invested in, and then we have to sort of give it up. I love that you thought and cared enough to give it an ending. Now that being said, um, we have this this lovely creature. I want to know several things about this, but mostly I want to know what the heck is it?
This is a eldritch god of change that I was commissioned to do by a new friend. A new friend who is a DM for the players in this chat, so I'll keep it a little vague because I don't want to spoil the surprises. But this is a god of change who believes that they're on the side of humanity and morality, that what they do, changes that help you, changes that you don't want but must have, are done so to help you. And when I was making this, they gave me a lot of freedom. They told me this is an eldritch creature. You don't have to be stapled down by conventional design tropes. You don't need to align yourself to any one thing. You could have some fun with it. Granted, I did get a little too humanoid, in my opinion, but for me, I got to explore ideas of what change meant to me, what changes are supposed to be. And I respect change because one of my mottos is to never stagnate, to always keep improving, which is respectfully change. Granted, it's
Mm-hmm.
positive change, but it's change nonetheless. And for me, when I was thinking of this, I was thinking that sometimes in life, there are changes you go through that are in your control, that are out of your control, that are good for you and that are bad for you. But at the end of the day, the person that you turn out to be is still affected by these things. And then you are given a choice. This is something that's within your power to do with that what you will, to become a better person from it. And in this piece, you would look at this creature, no facial features, no eyes, no mouth, no nose, no ears, nothing to identify with, nothing to feel like it's a human connection that you're trying to make. And it's able to connect with you and show you that without a bias, it's going to give you the opportunity to become a better version of yourself. You just simply have to choose if you're willing to go through strife, if you're willing to go through luxury, if you're willing to suffer to become better, or if you're willing to just coast through life and hope that you turn out good. It was just so much fun. And I got to, from a design point of view, this was so much fun because perspective, I got to have some more fun with line art because this piece I just told them straight out, hey, I'm not going to go too ham with the coloring. I'm just going to do line art for the most part, and that's in grayscale. And they're like, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then I lied to them because I colored it and it came out flicking baller. It's just so airy. It's just so cool. It's so imposing. It's
It
powerful.
is the hand reaching for you, and then like this. What is that? Like a DNA strand type of weapon, or not weapon? It's like holding the.
It's a banner of its changes. Actually, the story behind the banner was one of my favorite things because it was like, "Hey, do you have any lore that you came up with while you were driving it, drawing it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did. It has a DNA strand banner. The DNA is because, well, DNA's change. I'm gonna be real. That was just very on the nose for me. But
Mm.
the banner itself is where it records with its little pen. You can see in its little hand there. The other one holding its spittle. You can see it's recording all the changes it makes, the good and the bad, and seeing what it can learn, because it itself is learning the changes that it needs to make to itself and to its power to consistently help humanity out, to consistently do good by us.
Ah.
And I guess a part of me also was thinking, as deities as a whole, like how they would view us and view a situation like that, because that's an omnipotent, powerful entity that really is just like above us. Like, how do you fathom their mentality? So that was just a fun little thought experiment for me. And of course, there's a little crab there because crabs are awesome.
Wow. Isaac Wilson in the chat said, System will gaslight you into believing he will give you less than what he's actually going to give you. And listen, I'm not saying I have experience with that, but let me tell you all a quick story. Okay, a completely unbiased reason that this art is last. So when I first met System, I was like, hey, I kind of want to see what one of my characters would look like in the style that you draw. And System was like, okay, bet, give me some references and tell me a little bit about the character. And so I did. And literally within within a day, System was just like, hey, yo, look, this is my completely unbiased presentation of this beautiful and wonderful and totally unbiased.
Yeah,
Totally.
no, yeah, this is totally.
Totally unbiased, but let's talk about this completely regular feeling the feelings that I have for this art piece. tell me about this art piece.
Well, honestly, yeah, I just kind of realized it did kind of come back to bite me there. I do remember I did go like a teensy bit above and beyond for this piece, but it was just so much fun for such a cool character, for such a cool person. I just thought to myself, well, I'm having fun. I'm learning from reference. I'm enjoying the skin tones. I'm enjoying the smolder, the story. it was just a good vibe all the way through, and you could tell it was a good vibe because I drew it in like a day. I'm pretty sure I did it in like a couple of hours because it was just so much energy in the air behind this character. It was just so much fun. He was just so fucking pretty, dude.
I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about this character. This is Fen, aka Feanor. He's one of mine. He is just a character that I roleplay with, and he's been in one D&D session. So I've only played him live once. But Fen is a tiefling, as you can see, and the gold is actually piebaldism. He has piebaldism, and I just figured that, you know, he's I don't want it to be the regular colors that you would usually find in a human. So I figured kind of gold, the yellowish gold looks really, really good against the red. So he's my little baby McDonald's boy. And I do not support McDonald's, so I'm just throwing that out there.
Free Palestine, just saying.
But he's my little red and gold babe. He is I love everything about what you did with this. I mean, even just like just the words that you chose, hotter than hell, demon named devil, is just.
I remember I was listening to a bunch of Guilty Gear soundtracks, so I was just thinking, yeah, he would just put a bunch of cool sounding words next to each other because he does. It's just cool sounding words. It's great.
System is in fact the fastest artist. Timba says watching him speed sketch feels sped up, and Kinterot PC says System is the fastest artist I've ever worked with. Domino RBG says System is insane with speed and quality. Honestly, and again, totally, completely unbiased. I definitely agree with this. Yeah, I agree because I mean, look at this perfectly normal character.
Yeah, perfectly unbiasedly.
Yep, unbiasedly, it's just my favorite character ever. Okay. Anyway, so that being said, we are reaching the last little bit of our lovely interview. So at this time, I want to look at him some more. At this time, I'd like to invite anybody in the chat. Welcome in all new viewers. I really appreciate you being here. If you have any questions for System, the next like 5-6 minutes are going to be pretty much the time to be asking those. Isaac Wilson says, only experienced a single piece that has taken some time to finish, and that is also just a massive fucking piece. It is.
No, it's like 7 characters on a giant backdrop for a massive fight with a god we had.
Oh my god. No, that would take, I think, anybody a ridiculous amount of time, but I bet that your speed is also just like let me do this thing that would take everybody like a really freaking long time, and let me just do it in like not a freaking long time, actually.
No, yeah, I feel like I'm getting to the point where my art style has developed to the point that I feel I can definitely do it now. Like I was ruminating, I was waiting, I was in a cocoon hibernating to get that perfect position in life to start it. Because now I have the power. The god complex is strong today.
Now we have a few questions in the chat. I'll ask them one by one. So first one is going to be Wabieli asks, what's your advice to artists?
My advice to artists is to take a reference, but not just pictures. Take a reference from music. Take a reference from videos, documentaries, anything that you can learn about. Think about how you can take that and add it to your art. Take it to add to you as a person. The world is filled with massive, huge, eon-long cultures. Not eon-long, but you know what I mean. And you can learn from these people. You can learn from the stories they've told, what they've done. You are building on years and years of innovation and ideas. You are building on the shoulders of giants, and you too will become a giant when you start to take in what they've done. Reference is important, having fun is important, taking a break is important, and above all else, always strive to be genuine to yourself and be a genuinely good person, and your art will become better for it.
I love that advice. I really, really do. Our next question comes from Domino RBG, who says, System, what deity did you smooth talk out of their domain to become so powerful?
I must quote Eminem here because if Cleanliness is quote to godliness, it's obviously that I couldn't stand next to me. I've always been very egotistical. I've never really had a faith that I connected to. I respect a lot of the faiths that I've been a part of, but for me, I've always believed that we're only our own gods, and I can't respect myself if I'm not doing as good as I can. So you gotta put it in there. Love yourself, and you'll become more powerful than you've ever found out. Because the more power you give yourself is, well, more powerful you're gonna get. There's no other way to say it. Simple as that. Love yourself.
You heard it here, everybody. Love yourself enough, and you too can become a god. Now, there's another question from Kinterot PC who asks, System, have you ever turned down work and why?
I actually don't think I've ever really turned down any pieces of work. Perhaps because I've never advertised myself to crowds who could ask for stuff that I would feel uncomfortable with. I've always been very open with what I'm willing to do and not willing to do. So I feel like people have respected me up until this point to give me work that I'm willing to do. And on top
Hmm.
of that, I, in a way, unless it's morally dubious or downright evil, I'm willing to dip my feet into certain things to see if maybe I like it, maybe if I can explore it, and maybe if I can become better for it. There's
I
so
like
much
that.
things out there in the world.
Yeah,
I
I
can't be
like
stush.
that. I like that. Vincible asked commission prices and where to contact. Domino has posted systems at Twitter/X, but according to Sumbering Witch, you are more active on Blue Sky now. Is that correct?
Yes, I am more active on Blue Sky. Commissions are the easiest to get to me through Discord, but yes, Blue Sky is where I'm at because shitter is not fun for
It is
anybody.
not. It is a dumpster fire from the pits of hell. That being said, we will, of course, be posting systems links. All of the socials will be available. And when this episode gets published on YouTube in about a week, you will find all of the links found in the description. But we will be wrapping this for a long time. Now, we have time for one more question. And we're going to do that from Isaac Wilson. If you could have a drink with any deity from our world or any other setting, who would you have a drink with?
This is a very corny answer, but from all the faiths that I've been in, I feel like it'd be very fun to have a sit down with three people, and it is Buddha, Jesus Christ, and Hanuman.
Buddha, Jesus Christ, and who?
Hanuman. Hanuman is a god of strength, loyalty, and companionship in Hinduism, and he is the god I associate with most because he loves his friends. He's lifted mountains for them. In the story, he lifted a whole mountain to protect them. He's so cool.
That sounds really cool. I feel like it just, I mean, you've got so much going on. Like, I'm genuinely so impressed with everything that I'm seeing, everything that I have seen. I kind of want to have a drink with those three people too, to be perfectly honest.
I would
Um,
recommend a good movie. But if you want to sit
um,
down with Jesus Christ, man for
honestly,
face.
I just want to know. I want to know some things. I want to understand that a little bit more. A little bit more. Now we do need a link to the YouTube channel. I will go ahead and post that link in there.
I am on Tumblr too, just in case anybody's there.
That
Well,
should take you where you need to go.
wonderful.
The first episode is out. The second episode will be out likely tonight or tomorrow, and this episode will be out next. Now, we have reached the end of our interview. You have been absolutely incredible to speak with. I mean, your art speaks for itself. I kept Fen up there shamelessly. I'm sorry. I'm biased. Anyway, that being said, we are gonna go ahead and dip into a nice little intermission while we set up for our second guest, Sphgtti, aka Kit. That being said, you have been absolutely a delight to have on here. I've loved your points of view. I've loved your art. I've loved the stories behind it, and I love your mind. You are absolutely, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge, huge fan. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I deeply appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so very much. You've all been so wonderful and so caring and thoughtful. It's been so nice. I thought I'd be nervous here, but you guys have made me so welcomed. Thank you very much. I hope to meet you all in better places, in better times, and for
And you
you
know,
all to keep getting better.
absolutely. And Domino says it best. Viewers, do not be sad that this segment is over. Be glad you got to bask in the glory. It was indeed quite glorious. Thank you for joining us for the first segment. We're going to go ahead and be in a brief intermission, and we will be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here for the second half of this amazing episode. Thank you for sticking with us so far. Now, here coming up, we're going to talk to the amazing Sphgtti, all about being an indigenous streamer on Twitch. Now, this is only, I think, just doubling down on the fact that like Kit is just so much fun to talk to. So let's everybody give a wonderful and amazing welcome to the wonderful, the one, the only Sphgtti. Hi, Sphgtti. How are you doing?
Oh my god, hi.
You are adorable. So welcome. I just got lipstick everywhere laughing. We're good. Okay, so how are you doing today?
I'm actually good.
You're
However,
good?
I woke up with a scratch in my throat.
Oh no, not the forbidden throat scratch.
Yup.
Oh no.
So like my voice might be a little off a bit, but it's all good. It's all good. I'll power through it. I'm strong Nietzsche.
You are so strong. You are the strongest, actually. You're the strongest person I've ever met in my entire life. There you go. Oh, welcome. Why don't you give us a wonderful introduction to our amazing viewers?
Hi guys, I'm Kit. I'm a streamer. I'm a university student majoring in Indigenous visual culture in Toronto. I moved away from my home in 2022, and ever since then, I haven't looked back. I'm trying to make a world for myself out here, but it's going smoothly. It's going at a pace. So, yeah.
You know, as it does, as it absolutely does. The world is a fuck, I think is as they say it.
Is a what?
Is a fuck. The world is a fuck.
Yep, I agree.
But we're out here making it as much as we can. Now, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself beyond just, like what types of streams do you do? And more importantly, we'll get to that question. Tell us a little bit about the stream.
The type of streams that I play, I like playing games that are considered like scary and horror-ish. I like to play games with friends, obviously, because I can never play it by myself. I'm kind of like a scaredy cat. I like to bring a lot of energy, a lot of chaotic energy to my audience.
Listen, I'm not saying that you're absolutely a scaredy cat, but how do I put this? Let's transition over to this lovely screen here. Because you know exactly what's coming too. You know exactly what's coming. Now, everyone, I need you to keep in mind that what you're about to see is going to be full of loud sounds. So if you need
Turn down your volume.
You need to plug your ears or turn down your volume, I would suggest doing so, because for for the next 30, 40 seconds, we're going to experience what it's like in the mind of. Please enjoy. Here we go. See if it'll actually play. It takes a minute. It takes a minute.
That's okay. That's okay. Everyone, plug your ears
Everyone,
right now.
plug your ears because. We're... That was fantastic. Now,
You're an editing genius.
As someone who has had the opportunity to play alongside Kit for this particular thing, we're gonna keep this running in the background. I'm gonna go ahead and mute it. There we go. We'll go ahead and keep this running in the background just so that we have this lovely visual to look at, and so that we know there's screeching in it. Now,
yeah, that's me.
Somebody who has had the opportunity to play it a couple of times with you, especially in like Lethal Company, you do not hesitate to just shriek. You shriek so loud. It is fantastic.
I don't hold back.
You don't hold back at all. Why is that? Like, what? Like, I love that you're just so free. Like, what is it you just kind of experience when that happens?
I used to be not so free. I used to be in such a quiet household with my cookum, and back then when I was just like a tiny little gamer, I had to scream like ah! And as soon as I moved out, I found such a lovely roommate who would let me express me as me, and we complement each other's energy because we're basically the same. And there I let out my spirit. I let out my little Nietzsche screams.
I love it. It's honestly, it's weird as it seems. Like, it's hilarious, but it's also kind of inspiring because it makes me want to be as free. I feel very often like when I game, like I'm holding back things. Like, things just don't, they're awkwardly sitting inside of my chest, and I love that you're able to just
understand what you feel. I literally do.
Like, how did you, like, what was it like getting to that point? I mean, what did it feel like?
So free. I don't know. It just happened. Like, as soon as I found my group, I was able to be as free as I can. I could scream, I can let loose, I can just be so unhinged, and it became such a big personality of me. And I'm so happy I have friends that accept me as that, and not as like someone who's just like constantly obnoxious, I guess.
You know what? I love this for you. I love this so much. Like, tell me a little bit. Like, we're talking about journeys. We're talking about just as Isak Wilson says, gremlin energy is fun energy. We're talking about capturing
exactly.
that.
Yep.
But in the terms of journey, can you tell us a little bit about your journey as a native person from Treaty 3 territory?
So I used to be a dancer. I used to be such like a stoic type of person. Like, I kept everything in. My cookum I wasn't always, as chaotic as I used to, or as I am now. I had to keep a lot of things pent up, and it took me a long, long time to realize that I'm not that person to keep things in. I always just have to like say something to somebody. Like, I have to put out the best of myself out there. I have to let them know that I'm not to be quiet. I'm not the person to be like, I have to let my feelings out. I have to let them know. That's how my mom was. My mom, she was the complete opposite of my grandma. I love her for that. She brought that personality out of me, I realized I was more like her as I grew up. And just recently, I had just visited her, and we both let loose. We both had the most anti laughs ever.
I love it.
And we just connected so much in the past week, and I feel so much like happier. I feel like I found my person as an indigenous woman. I shouldn't be quiet. I should be outgoing. I should be a very sociable person.
You know, I don't know. I like that this is what you feel and this is what you do. And the comments are reflecting it very well. The whole like Kit is a little ball of energy and we all love her, says Jessa Rose Games. Vincible says, I'm a very muted person and I like playing with people with opposite energy like Kit. System Recoded, hey, says this individual
I love you guys.
much love and positivity. And Waweli says, I hope to become more of a gremlin. I'm a quiet mouse at the moment. So with what you've found, what's your advice for people coming out of their shell? For people who want to be more of a gremlin, who maybe they're like me a little bit, where it's like the gremlin energy is there, it just hasn't come out yet all the way. Not all the way.
Find yourself. Don't let yourself hold back, I guess, because it just has a lot of pent up energy. It just makes you feel more uncomfortable. Just be yourself, I guess. That's the best way I can put it, because I understand. I've been there. I literally just let loose as soon as I left. I found my community. I found the people that I wanted to be around, especially the Indige horror community. I love them.
Yes, we're gonna have to talk about that. We're gonna have to talk about Indige horror because y'all
shout out
to Indige horror. So we're both a part of this this wonderful group that is just indigenous based. Gotta represent. But we're going to be representing by doing really, really fun horror games, and you will be hearing so many more of Kit's just absolute shrieks. We're just going to have to put sound warnings on all of our stuff.
Wait!
It's going to be too fun. But with that being said, like, I know that's going to be some of the content you stream, but it's not all of it. Like, what led you to start streaming in the first place, actually, is what I'm wondering. Like, what led you to begin this whole career, and, like, how did you choose, like, this whole variety of stuff? Like,
Markiplier.
What started Markiplier? Hey, Markiplier, if you're watching, you're not, but if you do one day.
I loved his content growing up. I loved watching a bunch of YouTubers like play all of these games, and I loved seeing their genuine reactions. Streaming has been on like my mind since I was a little preteen, little kid. And I didn't get my PC until 2021, and it took me a long time to like get out of my shell, like I explained, move on, move out of my house, and then get my apartment with my lovely roommates. And from then, I felt more at home. I found a community. Wait, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I wanted to play more horror games. I wanted to play with people.
We like it. And just, again, you're hearing it here first. Markiplier's out here getting people out of their shells.
Yeah, he's literally so father. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes, Markimu is father figure of the year, I would say.
Yeah, that man raised me. Five Nights at Freddy's, I have yet to play that on stream, and I really want to.
Is it multiplayer or is it single player?
Single player, which I'm completely fine for.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, you're gonna shriek anyway. You're gonna shriek.
Yeah,
I know you are. And that's what makes it so much fun. Like I remember we were playing Lethal Company, and I stepped into the building because I was like, I wonder how they're doing in there. I go in there, and the first thing I hear is just the distant shrieking, and I'm like, oh, nope, turned right back around and left. I left you there.
Screaming about our friend Rach, and
Yes. Shout out to
Their dead
HQ.
yeah, their dead body was right in the corner, and I was like, "That's my friend! I can't believe that!" And there was like this little tiny little hoarder bug just in the corner, peeking, looking at our dead friend. And I came back with a shovel, ready to beat his ass.
You did.
But
You...
then he came at me.
I'm
and I
gonna
had to
fight
run
it.
out.
I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna fight it. And then you were gone. You were
was dead.
gone.
It killed me.
It did. You didn't. You came back out with the body. You saved the body. Then you went in and became one. Domino RBG says it best. True friend behavior. I'm for it. So, with that being said, you are incredibly entertaining to watch. But with that, like, what do you think makes your channel kind of unique? Like, what would draw people there? Because I know what would keep them there. It's just watching you. But what would you want the draw to be if you just put it out there?
Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I just really want to build a community based off like becoming friends with them, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to seem like a famous person. I just want to make friends. I want to be so active like with my chat. I want to even play with them at some point. But right now I literally have like a couple followers, a couple viewers, which is fine. I stay in touch with all of them. And
You are just so pure. I feel like you should call your fans like noodles. Like, hello, fellow spaghetti
Wait,
noodles.
yes, I do. They're all my special noodles, my good noodles.
Good noodles. Oh, it's too good. I swear. I just want to see you succeed. Now, regarding what we just talked about, spaghetti. Tell me the origin of that. Where did you get the name Sphgtti?
I literally just wrote about this morning. Like I said, I had just gotten my PC. All I had left was my gamer name. And all of my past gamer names sucked. They sucked. At one point, I was the Muffin Girl. Hello? That is not on brand. And I spent a little bit time pondering. And my grandma had finished cooking dinner. And she said, Tana's! Spaghetti's ready! And I came back with my spaghetti and I was ready to eat it. And I was like, you know what? I fucking love spaghetti. I need this as my name. Who cares? And you know what? It brought in a lot of attention from Valorant, Overwatch, all of these games. And I was able to find my friend group and the Nietzsche clan. Yeah.
Nietzsche clan. We always have to shout out Nietzsche clan for life.
Yep.
No,
And-
it's so cool. It's just spaghetti's ready. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah. Everything that I have always has to have like a food item. My cat's name was Egg. My capybara plushies are named Yogurt and Caramel. I just have to have like a food item name, you know?
I get it. I completely get it. Isak Wilson says you came back not only with your spaghetti ready, but you got your spaghetti ready too.
Yup.
Yeah. And yes, the
so
Slime
true.
Plaza Loyal Mod has posted the clip that we were talking about if anyone wants the good kid action.
Yep. I had to put the mic warning there too. It's so loud. I busted my own microphone too.
You did?
Sometimes I'm too loud. Like I have to put this down most of the time, so like I don't like it doesn't cut out. You know?
No, I get that. Well, I mean, what do your roommates think? Because I know you're being free and everything, but do your roommates ever just like pop in and be like, bruh?
I haven't gotten that yet, actually.
Really?
No, they love it. It's like a sense of like homeliness, I guess. We
I
just
love
know
it.
that
You know,
we're all here. We're all having fun in our rooms, in the kitchen, in the living room, we just know that we're alive. We're having fun. We're just being ourselves.
Yeah,
It's like a safe place here.
I too deeply down believe that nothing quite says home quite like the distant and muffled, terrified screams of your roommates.
Yep.
Living life, maybe not for much longer, but we're doing it right now.
Yeah. YOLO. That's what I live off. That's my what is it called? My motivation. Every morning I say YOLO. You only live once. Just be free.
YOLO. It's a good way to go, I think. Now, I love your content. And I feel like everyone here go follow Sphgtti because completely worth it. When Sphgtti is streaming, you want to be tuned in because it's always going to be funny.
Stop,
it's always going to be
blush.
engaging, entertaining. Like, please, Sphgtti needs to reach. Are you affiliate yet?
No. I'm currently on hiatus because I have plans to go home, but by the time I come back, I will be having a lot of plans for my future Twitch profile. I'll be engaging a lot more and hopefully some Fuji reactives. I really want to do that so badly. I have a lot of plans.
System, you heard it. You heard it, System. No, when do you think you'll be back? Like, what's the time period we're looking at here?
At least a month. Like, my birthday's in June, so I'll be staying in there at my hometown for June, and then I'll be back as soon as July starts because I have a lot of plans in Toronto by then.
Okay, 1 month. You gotta go home. You gotta soak in the culture and just.
I gotta go back.
Yeah.
My cook she wants me to do a blanket now.
Really?
Yeah, Star Blanket. She's one of the best people I've ever met, and she's such a great sewer. She's gonna teach me how to do some ribbon skirts.
Ooh.
And do some of my blankets, or not do, like re-sew them because I've had them for a long time and I have to fix them.
Okay. Now, for the people here who are not familiar with who are not familiar with indigenous type of stuff, Sphgtti, can you tell us a little bit about your tribe, a little bit about your nation, and tell us what a ribbon skirt is, and the significance of that too.
I'm Anishinaabe, which means Ojibwe. I'm from Treaty 3, and I live in a small hometown called Kenora, up northwestern Ontario. And right around it is a bunch of hundreds of reserves around. And I'm from about 3 of them, which is crazy. And that's where I learned how to fish, how to hunt, how to sew, how to bead. I do beading a lot, like mostly. And that's where I learned how to speak Anishinaabe Moen. Bushu Anin, everybody in the chat.
That is so cool.
I have a lot of family there. A lot of family. My cousins, hopefully they're in the chat. I think they might be in there. And we just love our culture a lot. I participate in sweat ceremonies, the moon ceremonies, which is something that you do when, as a indigenous woman, you give your blessings to the moon, and the moon blesses you back, which is such a beautiful thing. I love the moon. That's my baby girl. That's Kukum right there.
You keep saying Kukum. For those who don't know what that means, you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, it means grandmother. It's a matriarch thing. The moon is a woman. The moon is our creator, and she watches over us. She constantly watches over us, no matter if she's not there. She's just somewhere there.
Love that. I love that so much, and I think that explains why so many people like take comfort from the moon, because it's like a motherly love.
Whenever I'm sad and I don't see the moon outside of my window, I always have to go out looking for it, and then I start smudging outside or on my balcony in my room, wherever I can, because my spirituality is such like a deep part of me that I always have to just like take part in a morning meditation or a prayer towards the moon, the sun, my ancestors. That's so important to me. How to make mashed potatoes, mushroom, and cook
Vince! Vince, we were talking about the moon!
That's so funny. I love that joke. I'm gonna steal that actually.
That's a good one. All right. We'll give that one to Vince, I guess. But the moon, the moon is mother, and I love it.
Yep. That the moon raised me. I used to be so afraid of her.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be. I actually wrote a piece about the moon on one of my art accounts. I submitted it, and then I gave it to I gave the beating piece to, do you know Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gave it to the actor Kia Wentio. Yeah, and it means so much to me that I was able to give that piece to her because it meant a lot to me.
Wow, that is really, like, you drew it?
No, I made a beating piece, like
A beating piece. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Do you have any pictures of it?
Yeah. I can.
Yeah, shoot those over.
Drop
We'll
the
put it up
link.
on the screen.
Oh wait.
Yeah, take your time. Now to the chat. I mean, I think we should all very much appreciate the bits and pieces of culture that we get to understand. I think Sphgtti, I'll definitely want to have you on again to talk a little more about that because
That's so lovely. I love talking about culture so much. It means a lot.
I would love to do this because in the future smoke talks that come, I do plan on adding a new section where each week we have a different recurring kind of cycling guest, and for about 30 minutes I want to talk about a specific tradition that we're allowed to share to the world. Just, different things, because I want to kind of open the gates a little bit. Let's have a look at this piece. Now now it's been put in the
I called it Ichi Michabikizi Dipikigizes. The moon is full.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that up in here as well. Let me go ahead. Okay, so give me just a moment. Y'all have got to see this piece. I mean, the link is there, but for those of you who are watching at home, and those of you who will be watching when the YouTube video comes out, y'all got to see this. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's like a badge of honor for the moon. It took me about 8 hours ish to finish, because it was also kind of like a rush job, but I didn't want to like rush it enough. Like I wanted to represent the moon. That was the first thing that came to me when I started this project for my school. And then I realized how much I loved it. And I knew I was going to meet her in like a couple weeks, so I just decided to give it to her.
Yeah. Let's see. A little bigger. Might not fill the whole screen. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Here we go. There we go. There is the piece. That is beautiful. Your beadwork is fantastic.
It was so satisfying to finish, actually. I was so proud of myself because there was like a vast difference from my first beadwork project at the school.
Mm-hmm.
I was so stressed my first week, and my circles weren't even straight. They were just so like boggly. And when you put your mind to it, when you decide to like make it like a meditation type of thing, you start noticing that it becomes very, very still, and your vision becomes true.
Oh, it does. Catch me outside smudging under the moon. Being like, "Ayo, mom. Help. Help me. Help me."
That's the only time you will ever catch me being chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Now, I do wonder, just with everything that you are so passionate about. I mean, you are an indigenous streamer, but you are like, outside of that, you are just so passionate about your culture, about your traditions.
I very much am.
I would like to know, like, I guess what I'm wondering is, how does one kind of lean into the other when it comes to, like, how does it interact? Like, how does your spirituality, how does your culture kind of bleed over into your variety stream?
I guess it's more of humor, I get in that sense.
Yeah?
I keep a lot of my spirituality to like myself. I share it to a good wide group of people who understand that type of connection that I have. And when it comes to it bleeding into my streaming process, that's when the humor comes out. I just want to, indigenous humor. We're the most funniest people ever on the planet.
It's fair. It's fair and it's true.
Yeah, that's so true. That's the only thing I incorporate into it. And then sometimes I'm like, some people act up and I say, quit it, Okuma-san is gonna come get you, which is Grandmother Moon. And it's one of my favorite jokes ever, and it scares my cousins. They're younger than me.
Listen, as long as you're not whistling at night, I think we can
No,
make this
never
work.
whistle at night, guys. Never do it. Not
You
even
want-
around me. If you do it around me, I'm running the opposite way. I'll scream at you. And
You
then
want to
run.
explain why for our amazing viewers why you should never whistle at night?
The spirits will grab you. They will follow you home.
Yes. The system says, "Wait, you guys have that also?" Yes. I think this is Rose Games. Nor, never whistle. No, I think, and the thing is, this is present over a lot of different cultures. And I gotta say, I think there's some validity to it. Because if enough people are telling you, don't whistle at night, don't do it. I mean, maybe
You're
don't.
calling bad energy. You're calling the skinwalkers, the spirits, your ancestors. You're not supposed to whistle at night, especially at the northern lights, which we get a lot in Kenora. And never at the moon. That's like a slur to her. Not in the bushes, because then you're just gonna get all kinds of entities following you for the rest of the night, and you're gonna feel very airy.
Hmm.
That's my practice that I've grown up with. And when my uncle and his brothers did it, I ran it the opposite way. I told my cookum, and she got mad at them.
They did it?
Yeah,
Why
they were
would
doing
you,
it
why
to
in
spite
the
us.
why
Me and my
in the
little cousin.
ever-loving heck would you do it if you know better?
They never know better. That's
No.
why Dear Lady exists.
That's true. That's true. Specifically for them, actually.
Keeps the uncles
Specifically.
intact.
Now, in my nation, we actually have we have something to do with the moon as well, but it's less to do with. I mean, we have stuff to do with the moon, but we actually have a cryptid specifically called Moongazer.
Really? I never knew that.
Yep, Moongazer is always staring at the moon and can't see you. Cannot see you unless you look at it long enough. You look at Moongazer long enough, it kind of just it grows aware of your presence, and if it sees you, it will take you into the sea.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
Oh my
And
god.
it's tall. It's like Slenderman if he ain't got no clothes on.
Wait, that's so funny.
It's terrifying.
That's
Be
actually
afraid.
terrifying,
Be
though.
afraid.
Yeah.
Getting knife handed. Be
I
terrifying.
actually have like a little lore explained. In Kenora, that's where skinwalkers originated. We have like a camp, or not a camp, but like there's like a legend saying this is where they are, and it's nearby this old residential school ruins, and it's terrifying.
That sounds scary. That sounds maybe a little too scary for me. I don't think I want to go near ruins of residential schools.
No, but it's all around us, so it's something that I've grown used to. Every time I go by, I put down some sama, tobacco, sage, and I pray.
Thank you for putting me down. I appreciate it. No, but for real, it's very important to leave. Respect some offerings, return something, because so much was stolen in those places that I think it's important to leave extra.
For sure.
Ugh. I could feel the little prickly fingers. I'm like, get off of me.
I feel goosebumps every time I say, the SW word. I look out around my surroundings. Even though I live in this big ass high rise apartment right now, I'm still scared.
Listen, I live in what we affectionately refer to as the Feywilds of my specific area. There's a lot of weird, not easily explained stuff that happens in this particular area. A lot of people see a lot of weird stuff. And then literally as we were driving home the other day, my roommate and I, the car got swooped by a white owl. And the way I instantly just went, no, we gotta go home.
That's terrifying.
No. So I feel like if I'm gonna say that out loud, I'll cry because it'll probably show up. Or actually, no, I fully believe, even though Moongazer is said to be on Brinken, I feel like Moongazer would crawl it because I can literally see the water from where I am. I can see it. I can see when the moon reflects.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you fully.
And if I see a nudist Slender Man out there just vibing, no, I don't. I don't see anything. What are you talking about?
You don't see anything. That's literally the Appalachian rules. If you hear it, you don't acknowledge it. Don't look at it. You never heard it. Never existed. Go the opposite way.
Yep. You know what? I for sure want to have you back on the show to talk to a very good and dear friend of mine who is like old blood Appalachian type of situation, like the Irish Appalachian, where they speak more Gaelic there than they do in Ireland. They kept more of the old ways there than they did in Ireland. Like, it's crazy.
That's so impressive, though.
And I just want us to sit down and have a conversation and compare things.
That would be so fun. I'm so down for that, actually. Like, I love talking about little creepy things because I have so much to say about creepy things.
We love creepy things, which is why Indige horror is here for us. And it's also why scary things are they're thrilling, but we're smart. They're thrilling, but we keep it to the video games. And we're not going to go out in the woods at night looking at the tree line, whistling, calling everybody and their mama out to talk to us. We're good. Save it for the sweat, honey.
You're so right for that, though.
Isaac Wilson says it's usually better to just let the strange thing in the distance just vibe, because worst case scenario is a spirit of some kind, and in best case it is a social interaction with a strange person. That's so valid, because if it's not a spirit, if it's an actual like person, I also don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, me neither. People at night, they can be crazy.
Jessero's game says that's why we made Indige horror. It is so that we don't have to go out there and talk to them, but we can still experience the fun little scaries. And then exactly. And then Dom says, an old saying when it comes to hearing/seeing weird things at night, mind your business.
Look the other way. Yep, exactly.
Yep, mind your dang business, everybody. All 70 of you viewers, mind your business. Thank you. Appreciated, adored, loved, fantastic. Now, let's get back a little bit. We have just a little bit of time left. Now, everybody who has questions, start preparing them now. We'll start taking questions in about 5-10 minutes. Now, let's talk about your streaming a little more, because we got away with it.
A little bit there,
yo, dude, I thought you were a cryptid. What are you doing in the forest? Eating? Oh no, says SystemRecoded. And I'm good. If it's eating, I don't know. I don't want to know what. I don't know why. Don't care. I'm going home. Goodbye. And then the Slime Plaza says, what if it doesn't mind its business? That makes you its business, which means run or fight. Fighting doesn't seem very smart in this in this case. Dom says, "Mind yours faster inside." Yeah, that's fair. But getting back to the streaming.
Yep. This is why we're here. Hello.
This is why we're here. No, I love this. I love this organically, like, leading into this. This is fantastic. I love talking to you. It's fantastic. So, regarding your streaming, what I want to know is what's a very good memory? Like, share with us a particularly I can speak memorable moment, or like an interaction from streaming so far. What's one that just stands out?
I think playing with Jessa and is so funny. Usually when we go into like Lethal Company, we have like this little grouping system. Everyone has like their little partners that we go into, and me and Jessa, we have this like these screams, these chaotic moments. And there was this one time where I already had died, and I heard her say, teleport me back right now. And I could see, I think it was like this coil head coming right at her, and I realized, oh my gosh, she might die. And that was one of my favorite moments ever. It's also special shout out again to Rage Dies.
Yes,
those are my absolute favorite moments ever.
Ice Cube, every time you die in Lethal Company only, I giggle, but in no other game do I wish this upon you at all. But Lethal Company, like, if you die, I'm gonna laugh. I'm sorry, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Love you.
Lethal Company is so funny. I love that game a lot. That's why I have 70 hours in it, guys.
70 hours? We gotta play. It's been a while. I haven't been playing games lately, but we gotta play. It's got to happen. Sorry.
I need more storage so badly.
Well, you're gonna be home for like a month, so
yeah, I'll be back as soon as possible.
You are not friends if you are not laughing at their violent deaths in video games.
So true.
Completely true. And actually, I think I remember that clip because she was like, teleport me, and didn't they teleport her dead body in?
No, I think she actually got away.
Did?
Thank God, yeah. And then you could hear her like drop to the floor or something like that. I think it was like that or something. And it was just like this like wave of like sighs, like, oh my God. I love that.
And the clip is up. Jessa Rose Games has put the clip up. Everybody just enjoy that moment. I'm about it. I definitely want to play more. I feel like Lethal Company is like one of those games that, like, it doesn't matter how many times you die, you're still gonna have fun. That's a different clip with Kit, but it's so fun. Aha. Mm-hmm. Fun times. The Slime Plaza says playing with Kit is always special. All caps special.
I love playing with other creators and people. I absolutely love the community that I was brought into. I literally just teleported out of nowhere, and I was immediately welcomed in by a bunch of Nichis, and I'm so happy and grateful to have that experience at all. Like,
that is so good. It's so good to just see somebody genuinely happy and having a good time. Like, I appreciate it so much. I honestly do. Now, I do want to know, sort of like what, like when it comes to streaming, your goal is to make friends, right? That's the thing you want to do, is just have a group of good noodle buddies.
Yeah, I just want to have a genuine time. I want to have like a connection with other people because I don't want to treat them like fans, right? Like, that's how people stray off into something like not good at all, and then they become over in their head about themselves. Yeah. I'd never want my ego to get that high. I just want to like be friends with the community.
I like that because there are, unfortunately, a lot of creators that, I mean, they get big enough and they just stop caring about why they started it in the first place. And I like that you have a good view of what you want to do. Chat are indeed homies. Chat are homies. Now, beyond that, though, like, what are some of the aspirations that you have for your future? Like, especially with streaming, because I mean, you've already got skills in sewing, you've already got skills in hunting and beading. You're a great personality, and you know your culture. So when it comes to streaming, what's next for you?
Next for me, I haven't really actually thought about it. I just want to have fun, like I want to have fun with the time that I have on this planet, this world. I hope to be able to find a community of good noodles or bad noodles, guys.
You could be one or the other. Try it out, find out what happens.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I just want to keep playing games. That's one of my biggest hobbies ever. I love playing games. I wish I could play forever, but I do have aspirations aside of that, such as tattooing.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you said you're a college student. What are you going to college for?
Indigenous visual culture, and I have a minor in drawing and painting.
Oh, that is so cool. You are such a cool person to know.
Stop it.
I wanna see more of your work as you progress. I wanna definitely, like, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on you because I see you. You're going places. Like, I can see that for sure. Yeah. And you deserve to go places because you have this like incredible heart of gold that I so appreciate. I honestly do.
Oh my god, I'm literally gonna drop to the floor and then I'm gonna like start rolling around.
Now, chat, you can feel free to ask questions from this point forward. I'm gonna make sure multi-stream is on because sorry, Twitter, I've been ignoring you. I'm sorry, X. I've been ignoring you entirely.
I love Twitter. I'm very active on there. Guys, come see my mental illness and fixations.
I have a Twitter. I just haven't. I've only recently started posting on completely.
It's
Jessa Rose
place.
says Fortnite. Do it.
I love Fortnite.
Isn't that the last night you can do the avatar stuff?
I got everything. I literally logged on. I got everything I could. I wish I had Korra and Aang, but I think it's gone now.
Yeah, I had kind of a hiatus from gaming, so I missed this era, and I'm very sad because I'm a huge Avatar fan. But
I
yeah.
love that. I love that show so much.
Yeah, we're actually in Timbo's. We're doing Korra nights. If you want to join us.
Korra nights? What?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that.
We are binge watching Legend of Korra.
Oh, I actually need to finish that. I think I didn't watch book 3.
I'm not sure where they're at because I haven't joined the last couple, but I guess we'll figure it out. I'm sure somebody will catch us up. The Slime Plaza asks, is there any more bead work that you're able or willing to show?
I have to get my big ass if you hear that, that's what that is my huge art stuff and beadwork. Wait, I have this project that I'm working on. I think I have it. I don't know if I have it posted. There's earrings that I made for my cousin, and then there's I'm making my own regalia this summer with my grandmother, and I have this idea of sketches that I really want to do. I actually archived it, so I'm just gonna send you the little picture really quickly.
And yeah, send
that's
whatever.
my current project. And I have
Ooh, this is good. Hang on, I'm gonna throw this up on the chat. Actually, I feel like for this we gotta hold up. Give me a second. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little special here. Give me just a second to do this. I know we only have a few minutes left, but trust me, it is worth it. Give me just a moment to set this up, and then we're gonna go through just a couple of these because I'm obsessed and I can't say no. I know we have consistently gone over the hours, but I promise you, it is so worth it. It is so completely worth it. Okay.
I have one more picture that I sent.
Yeah, send everything. I'm gonna throw it up here. I'm just gonna put you in a nice little moment. We are gonna
Go over a little bit.
we're gonna go over a little bit. Yes, we are. But you know what? It is worth it.
That thunk was ominous.
The funk was indeed ominous. Let's go ahead and pop over here. Okay. So, we just gotta take that down. Guess we'll take that down because y'all know who I am. Okay, so let's go ahead and this up.
That chair is beautiful. Holy shit.
Thank you. Okay, so this is gonna be a little rigged. Let's screen smaller so we can see the chat. Okay, so this is your regalia.
Yeah, this is what I plan to do this summer, and hopefully dance by next powwow season.
Yeah, tell us a little more. Like, what are these pieces that we're looking at?
Okay, so my spirit name is Misquanaqua Dikwe, which means red cloud woman, and the top ones are my earrings that I have one done, but I still have yet the other one to finish, and the other are gonna be my hairpins, just flowing down on my luscious locks of hair. And the middle bottom one is going to be my medallion whenever I start to finish it.
That looks gorgeous. I love these colors that I'm seeing here.
I love them too. It came to me in a dream about a year ago, and I still have yet to finish that dream.
You know what? I support every bit of this. You let us know. Like, I think that, I mean, if you're open to it at some point, I think that any updates that you have on that, we're gonna just absolutely adore.
I would love to send updates so much.
Yeah, I mean, I'll repost every single one of them. Now, here's another one. Let's have a look.
I just took this picture.
I wish I drew this. Okay, so this picture you just took, also, like, so good. These colors, I'm obsessed. Oh, do you take commissions?
I'm scared too. Like, I'm scared of like ever messing up someone's like order. That's
so
like
you
my
take
number one fear.
no pressure commissions. The better question.
Wait, repeat that. Sorry.
Do you take no pressure commissions?
No pressure.
Like no pressure, no time limit, just whenever you get to it.
I would do that 100%.
Because y'all, wow, holy moly is right. These are so good. You are so extremely talented. What the heck?
Thank you so much.
How did I not know this about you enough?
I don't know. I don't often like talk about myself that much.
I'm obsessed. This is amazing.
I'll explain them really quickly. The little berets was from my first jingle dress thing when I was like a preteen, and my grandmother actually helped me bead those ones.
Yeah?
And the middle one, the flower project, is for my grandmother, my cookum. I have to finish the lanyard, but it's taking so long. I cannot figure out how to not make it loose on the little chains there.
Now, we have reached the end of our show. That being said, and SystemRecoded said it so well, the so gorgeous and remarkable, damn, does she ever stop being impressive?
Stop it, guys. I'm gonna start blushing so hard.
That being said, System has been watching since his moment. System has been watching, and I think it's time that we show you what you have inspired in others, specifically in System. You ready?
Wait, I'm so excited, yes. Wait, I'm scared. Wait, is that me?
That's you! That is you! Drawn by System. As we've been talking. Good, be scared of me, he says. It is so cute! This is so perfect! I'm screaming. This is so good.
I love this so much. Oh my goodness.
What a way to close out the show. Oh,
You did this just now?
yeah. Literally just now. And look, it's like the moon.
So pretty. I need this as soon as possible. Literally just text me. What the hell?
So fast and so quality. Oh my god. Everybody, we have been absolutely blessed by two incredible people. Oh my god,
jaw
this
is
is
on the floor.
This is so good.
Oh my
god. Kid, it's such a good noodle to have around.
Oh my
This
god.
is so true. This is so true. We'll go ahead and have the chat behind there. Here we
This
go.
is so gorgeous. I love this a lot.
Dancing up there. Now, this has been so good. This has been so good. I am so glad that you came.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
This has been, I think, one of the best shows yet.
I'm honored. I'm so honored.
Thank you for being a part of Smoke Talk. Until next time, my wonderful, amazing new friends, and Kit, I'm just keeping you on here until we go because you're just great. But let's go ahead and go.